Welcome back. In the previous chapter, we saw different data types, and after that, we saw data operations, merge, loop, processing, batch processing. In this chapter, what we are going to learn is error handling. So what is error handling? Error handling is nothing but when something goes wrong, how to handle that. If you run out of money and the rent is due, an error has occurred, how are you going to handle it? You're going to borrow the money, you're going to steal it, whatever, don't steal it, but I'm just saying, that's the error handling that you got. So in this case, when a workflow fails or a node fails, there are two types of error handlings. We'll look into it. How do we handle those errors, and why do we need to handle the errors? Just because if you don't pay the rent, if you don't handle that error, you're going to get evicted, right? Same way, if your workflow is in production, it is supposed to do lead outbound call and it failed, it doesn't do, and you lost the lead. The lead was a very good lead. He was waiting for your call, but he never got the call. You lost the deal and you lost the client lost a bunch of money. So, however, if you have handled the error properly, you could have gotten a notification and immediately you would have gone and fixed that or called the customer yourself and not lose the deal, right? That's just an example I'm giving you. With that said, let's see how it looks. Why do we do error handling? It's very critical for in production. If you're not doing error handling, you are not doing justice. You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot deliver a workflow to clients or anybody. If it is in production, it has to have error handling. So we're going to see how do we do that. It reduces the failure reduction by 40%. That's what it says, but I think it's way higher. This is just Gamma creating some numbers. And the recovery rate is 95%. It depends. If you have a team which is responding, it is called as IRT, incident response team. If there is a team who can respond immediately, you can have practically zero, like 100% recovery rate or zero failures, Not zero failures, it will fail, but you can recover it. All right, with that said, this was the merging and splitting data. The next thing which we are going to see is dealing with errors. How are we going to check the failed workflows? So if we go back to our chapter, this was the chapter where we failed. In the editor section, go to executions, and over here, you can find out what failed or why this workflow failed. So if you remember, this is our cloud instance, and when we tried to write files to the disk, it failed. And when I tried my own personal local, it worked. So this is the error. We can capture that. And we can take actions based on that. All right, so let's go back. That's the type of the error. Now, how would you handle it? How do you handle it? Let's see that. So you can find out how it failed, from the executions. And all right, if you have to open the workflow, you can open the workflow, catch the errors. All right, go back. Yep. So if I want to debug this in the editor, I can just debug it in the editor and it will bring back the exact same data, exact same run that happened due to which the workflow failed. All right, I can make changes and I'll save it. So if you see from the previous, when I get it again, the node will be a little bit in the up. So just to depict that whatever changes I made, that persists based on the data. So you can fix the error, you can make the changes, you can save it, and then you can rerun it so that next time the error does not happen. However, this is first, you need to get notified. You must be sleeping or you must be somewhere else. Your team, incident response team must be, at a lunch or something. When a workflow fails, they need to get notified. How do we do that? And they can get notified via email, call, or text somehow, right? So what we need to do is we need to create something called as an error workflow. So in this case, they have just depicted how the solution looks like, but they have not given the data on how to create that or how to resolve that, I think, but it's in one of the workflows over here. I think the third workflow. We are going to do the practical for that. However, I will still show you how to do that. In this, you have to create another workflow called as error workflow. And this error workflow, you just have to call error trigger. This is the trigger. So whenever a workflow fails, this should get triggered. And based on that, you can send a notification to Discord, Slack, Gmail, you name it. You know, like if you want to send it to the Gmail, you can send a message. Send a message. I'm not doing it right now, so delete. So at the same time, so in this case, what will happen is, like when that error happens, it will send out an email to the support team. It will send out a Discord message. It can send out a Telegram, WhatsApp, whatever you want. And then it can also, this is just for our output to test it out later on. So we're not going to do this in this episode. We are going to do it later on. I just wanted to show you what happens. And there is another method of handling an error. So let's see what is that. So in order to depict that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this. I'm going to shine it off so that we can run the workflow manually. We know that this node, it fails, right? And we know that this need fail. However, we can do some error handling. Let's say this is, let's put another edit node over here. Set node, sorry. I keep calling it edit because it says edit over there. And what I want to do is just say test I ran. Perfect. Okay, so if you see there is an error running in this node and this node cannot run, how do we fix that? In this case, if you go to the settings, we can say there are a few ways of handling this error. We can say retry on fail, and it will retry it few times. So let's assume you're using an AI agent. It's going out to OpenAI, doing an API call and trying to get some results, but the API servers are down momentarily. It will fail. However, if it retries, it will succeed. So in that case, you use the retry on success, retry on failure, and you can wait between the retries. You can stop, or after the failure, you can continue. So let's say I want to, the default behavior on stop is stopping the workflow. That's what is happening. However, I can say that continue. Now, if we go back to this edit field and I say execute, I ran. This ran this time because even though the previous node failed, there was an error. If you see over here, there was an error, but it ignored that. Not kind of ignored, it moved past that because you knew that it might fail. So do not do that for all production workflows. Only if you can bypass it, then bypass it, you know. So in this case, I knew what I was doing. So if you do this for each and every node, everything will succeed, but nothing will happen. In this case, we wanted to download this file, but it did not download. So its intended purpose was not solved. So what's the purpose of doing all this, right? So do error handling carefully. Error handling has to be there, but make sure that it handles the error, not bypasses it. You know, there is a difference between handling the error and bypassing. Like any number divided by 0 is infinity. All calculators, everything gives a messed up number, right? Like it's a programming construct. So if it is divided by 0, then you by default it to 0 to handle that exception. You don't give an infinite number. So that's how one of the examples. That's how you handle errors in here. For now, I'm going to remove this back and say stop. You're going to retry on fail, and that's that. So how do we use the other workflow that we created? So we created a workflow called as error workflow, right? To notify. How do we call this in case of failures? Let's see that. So what we need to do is we go to the settings of the workflow. So now in this case, this is going to fail. If you remember, we do not have any stop workflow thing. The workflow is going to stop, but it stops over here. How is it going to notify? So we go to settings, and in the error workflow, we choose the error workflow we just created, and we save it. Okay, now when it fails, it is still not going to trigger the error workflow, and I'll tell you why. Let's test that theory. It failed. Okay, we seen the executions. It failed, right, after the first success. However, if I go back in my error workflow, I will not see any executions. Why? Right? Why? The reason is because it only works on production workflows. What is a production workflow? All right, production workflow is the workflow which is in active state. Our workflow is not in active state. So I'm going to activate, we're going to activate it. This workflow is now active. If you see the trigger, it is going to start in 1 minute. So I'm going to go over here, wait, and just over here. So it's 3:32, 15:32. So, I think it ran already. What? Did it? Oh yeah, it ran. So now if you see, as soon as we did that, there was an error and it ran. So over here, even our error workflow failed because we didn't, this node was not done properly. So if I go back, I can literally take this and go into the debugger, and I can fix this node because I didn't have credentials, and I'm going to disable it. I'm going to save it so my error workflow will work. However, if we go over here, let me see if we got something in the set node. If not, we'll get another execution. So if you see now, this execution, it ran again. This workflow, the previous workflow, it executed again for the second time, and it failed second time, 32 and 33, right? I'm going to deactivate it so that it doesn't keep failing again and again. To sum it up, it ran at 31, it ran at 32, 33. 31, it did not have that workflow. 32 and 33, it had the error workflow. So if we go back to our error workflow and we go to the executions, we see two executions. The first one failed because the Gmail node was not set properly, and the second execution, it succeeded because we deactivated these two and the edit fields was done. And in this edit field, what I did was, like, I'm just giving like the workflow name, what was the error message that happened from the trigger. And if you see over here, we got the workflow exercise chapter 2 failed. That is the workflow which failed with the error message. It is not writable. This location is not writable, and blah, blah, blah. So you get, and with this, if you add a Discord node or a Telegram node, you should get a notification on your cell phone, your watch, or whatever. You can act properly and avoid the error. So this is very important. Please do not miss it. If you're delivering any workflows to your client or in production, make sure that you handle the error properly. There are two ways of handling the error. One is in the workflow itself at the node level, where you say bypass the node, or retry it, do whatever you want to do over there in the settings, and that is for every workflow. You can either continue with the error, so you can output the error then themselves and then route it directly to the Slack channel. You can do that as well. However, I like to do it in the error workflow fashion because you can call that workflow for almost anything. Do it once, reuse it everywhere. So that's it. I will see you in the next lecture. Thank you.